Jake Vasquez in game number 3 in our triple header this afternoon. I'm Doug Kesterson once again. Hoping a fantastic evening. KEYS Corpus Christi will get that out of the way. You're listening to Texas High School Baseball. The Carroll Tigers, the visiting team today, battling out with the Moody Trojans. This is the second game between these two teams this week. In the, I guess you call it the double meet, Jake.
All right.
The double dip on the play.
Double dip, I like it too.
The double dip, make it right through there. Carroll coming in at 4-19 overall this season, 1-2 in district play. Moody on the Trojans, you have their record, and I'll pull that up here as well. Let me get that right back over here onto this side. Moody is coming in at 1-4 in district play, 8-15 overall. And I said they were 1-4 in district play, so.
I got that first district win over the Carroll Tigers on Tuesday. So.
And we're ready to roll, so let's go through the introduction on the lineups. Leading things off for the Carroll Tigers will be number 10, Isaac Pettis at shortstop. Batting second, number 5, Caleb Jimenez is on the mound. Batting third, the senior catcher, number 12, Dave Palomo. And batting in the cleanup spot, number 3, Matthew Rodriguez playing third base. In the fifth spot, batting wearing number 15, Eloy Rodriguez out in left field. Batting 6, number 9, Josh Gonzalez. Gonzalez is playing first base. Batting 7th, number 11, Christian Hernandez in right field. Batting 8th, number 8, Julian Gonzalez in center. And last but not least, number 9, Nico Pettis at second base for the Carroll Tigers in their Columbia blue tops with their navy numerals. Gray pants with the Columbia socks this afternoon. Palomo with the orange on there, where they resemble a little bit of the Tiger with the left arm brace and the left shin guard as well. Go ahead defensively for the Moody Trojans, Jake.
Yeah, the home team, the Moody Trojans, their defense, here's what it'll look like in the outfield. Ernesto Gonzalez in left, Robin Osencio in center. Nico Espinosa will play right. And in the infield, Noah Garcia over at first base, Landon Trevino, the second baseman. Joaquin Acosta will play short, and Elohim Ramirez over at third base. Abram Baron behind the plate, and on the mound for the Moody Trojans, Aiden Ramirez. Trojans are wearing their white on white. Got the blue caps, the yellow M. So white on white with blue trim.
Big thank you to our sponsors. We appreciate their support all season long. Jake, if we can get a graphic up quickly before we do the national anthem, we'd appreciate that. Thank you to G-Tech Communications, Stripes, and the Laredo Taco Company. Del Mar College Trio Program. Check it out, delmarcollege.com. And our friends over at Charlie Marshall Funeral Home. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget Corpus Christi Car Show coming up on Saturday at the American Bank Center, noon to 5. We would love to see you guys there. If you have a custom car, truck, or motorcycle, we want you to be a part of the largest custom car, truck, and motorcycle show in the Coastal Bend. Thank you guys so much for helping out. Of course, it helps out our charity Bikes for Kids. We want to make sure that children in the Coastal Bend, the disadvantaged kids, will have a Christmas. You know, that'd be the worst thing in the world. As a kid, you know, the joy and the highlight of Christmas and be able to miss one. And events like what we have coming up with the Corpus Christi Car Show is definitely one of those ones where we really feel strongly about and make sure those kids have a Christmas. So the introduction for the national anthem is being done. We will pause here momentarily for the playing of our national anthem. This is our third natty today, Jake.
And everyone should remain standing until the anthem is played.
Stand by. drop that down a little bit now. This is game number 3 of our triple header this afternoon.
Game number 7 for Doug this week.
It's been a
How
long
the vocal
way.
cords, my man? How the vocal
I'm
cords?
good. I'm good. I haven't had to get too loud and too strong. You know, haven't been in a super, super loud crowd. I've been able to be a part of some really big crowds before, and after trying to talk over them, football crowds sometimes get that way. Basketball, being at the Galen Center a couple of weeks ago, that was where you have to get really loud and strong. But the first game was GP defeated King in the crossover action 2-1 on a tight contested ball game. It was good on both ends. A lot of defense in that game. And here's an interesting note for we have a guest up here in the booth. We'll bring him on the second inning. Each team with no errors, but each team left 10 men on base. That's one of those things that's it got the smirk from him. Like, that's a hard thing to swallow. But I'm more impressed with the fact that no errors committed by both teams in that game. You know, two teams that don't normally face a whole lot of each other in there. Now, the last game we had is the Veterans Memorial Eagles walked off Laredo United Longhorns 5-4 in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Eagles able to get 7 hits. They did commit 2 errors. Of course, the Longhorns had 5 hits and a solo home run from their catcher, Garza. This brings us to tonight's game here between Carroll and Moody. The first matchup between Carroll and Moody. If I have to go back, I believe I said I had a 5-3 victory for the Moody Trojans. And it was 5-2 victory.
I think you did say 5-2. You had it right the first time.
Okay. On Tuesday. And pitching for Moody today is Aiden Ramirez. And don't forget, we would like to say congratulations and big shout out to Aiden Trevino, our student athlete of the week. Aiden has a 4.67 GPA.
Wow.
Yes, what I said. 4.67. That guy's putting in the work in the honors classes, part of National Honor Society, and all kinds of great things. Got a great future and wants to become a neurosurgeon.
I hope I never need to see him there. But,
no kidding.
But we do need those people, don't we?
Yes, we do. Very, very much. The first pitch is high, and we're underway to Isaac Bettis for ball 1. Pettis has been a pretty solid player for the Tigers over the years. Takes the next pitch outside corner, strike 1. 1-1 the count. And just underway here at Cabinets Field. Game 3 of 3. Been a long day. The pitch into the glove of Barron for strike 2. Slight contact from Pettis.
And again, we'll give you the dimensions here at Cabinets Field. 319 down the line in left. 318 down the line in right, 394 straightaway center, and it looks like the wind's still blowing pretty much straight out. Might have died down a little bit.
It looks like it. Showing 79 degrees. Pitch is outside for ball 2. Evens things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The wind's still showing 20 miles an hour, gusting to 31, so it's not near as strong with a gust by minus of 4 miles now, but still. It's blowing straight out. The 2-2. Ball 3. And is this the same? No, this is not the same crew. So we've had 3 different umpiring crews today. And the payoff pitch. Ball 4. Pettis walks his way down to first base. Leadoff runner for the Tigers brings up the pitcher, number 5, Caleb Jimenez.
We were talking about the leadoff man for the Veterans Memorial Eagles in the last game, Damon Hernandez. But the leadoff man for the Carroll Tigers, Isaac Bettis, he can run as well, Doug.
Not nowhere near as fast as Damon Hernandez, though.
Well, it's hard to get that fast.
I know.
He's a pretty speedy guy.
That guy can fly. Jimenez shows a bunt for a moment. Would throw over to first, and Noah Garcia is not in time.
It's tough to be that fast.
Mm-hmm. That's just a gift. Our Mustang guest in the boost has some good speed as well. Takes it, going down to second, throws offline. It goes out of the outfield, and it's rolling away. Bettis is going to head down to third. And that would be the first E of the ball game. E2.
It would be an E, yes.
Yep.
Called the plate was a ball. So it's a 1-0 count here on Jimenez.
And it's fouled and out of play. 1-1.
We knew that Bettis would be running. He's one of those guys that it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. But gets all the way to third base on the error on the throw by the catcher, Baron.
Timeout call from Baron for a second, and Ramirez was like, okay. You want to try to keep Isaac Pettis close to third base if they can, but nobody out. This is, you know, really advantageous for Carroll in this position with a runner on third. There's strike two. Palomo on deck for the Tigers. Seems like I've called his name for like the past 10 years.
It seems like 10 years.
It seems like it's not. Ramirez's pitch is low and away for ball two, so it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch popped up. Ramirez makes the grab on the mound. There's 1 away. Here's Palomo coming up. He's one of those players that's had some nice pop in his back and really get things going. Talked to head coach David Marcello the other day, and he was like, Palomo is the guy on the team now. He's that senior, you know, been there. He's been that sophomore and junior throughout the years where he's had some other seniors in front of him. They're really trying to make sure they get Palomo out. They do not want him to affect the game. He takes the first pitch high, ball 1. The UTSA commit. High and inside, ball 2.
And he's very vocal. He's not some guys, they strictly lead by example. But Dave Palomo, he's going to tell you what's on his mind. He's going to pump his team up when they need to be pumped up.
That's a hit. It looks like it might drop into the gap. It does. 1 run comes home, an RBI double for Dave Palomo. He's trying to stretch it out to 3. And he's going to make it, standing up.
Nice piece of hitting right there by Palomo. And he does split the outfielders. Drives in the first run of the ball game. RBI triple, stand-up triple for Palomo.
It's something the Tigers have struggled with a little bit over the past several games, is getting some timely hits and getting some runs on the board early. It's a nice start for them here in the top half of the first. They now lead Moody 1-0. Pitched in to Matthew Rodriguez is across for strike 1. Ramirez pitch, fouled away, strike 2. He's ahead quickly, 0-2. And to add a little bit more to what you were talking about today, Palomo, Jake, is even when he was a freshman and a sophomore, he would get in the faces of some of the senior players, like the practice wasn't going the way he thought it needed to be with the intensity level. Smacked it right into the opening as they were all up on the line trying to protect from a bunt. And that's your RBI single for Matthew Rodriguez.
And again, that's what we were talking about in the earlier game. That's kind of the risk that you take bringing the infield in. I know what you're trying to do there. You know, you don't want that run to come across and score. But if the infield is back right there, perhaps you can check him back, you know, and make that play. But that's a tough one. And it ends up being an RBI single for Matthew Rodriguez.
Oh, that's going to get away, and heading down to second base is Matthew Rodriguez on a pass ball. Eloy Rodriguez stepping in with a 1-0 count now. A little bit of a hush over the crowd for a little bit. 2 runs already with 2 hits for the Tigers. And next pitch for Mead is a little low, ball 2. Coach Curiel is not one of those coaches to let a pitcher go too long and struggle for a while. I don't see him sending anybody out just yet. There's only 1 out in the inning. You're down 2 already. Timeout called. Okay, which is so funny. You heard the fans go, "Come on, Blue," right? He called time. The batter asked for it. He called time before Ramirez threw the pitch. And even Pettis saw that behind me, didn't you? He granted it. It's always funny. Half the crowd loves the call. The other half will hate it. 2-0.
Tough job being an umpire.
Mm-hmm. High, ball 3. They make some good money if they can work a couple of games and around in the area on a weekend or several times a week. You're able to make a little bit of extra money. And there's a serious lack of officials in referees and umpires. And the 3-0, here's strike down the middle for strike 1.
I'm not surprised about that, though. You see the treatment.
Yeah, but the new rule that's in effect, and I have yet to hear of anything. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I've yet to hear of any infraction being given to a school. Like that's infraction 1, infraction 2, and the third infraction you have as that pitch is popped up in the air, heading back to second base is Rodriguez, making the grab in center for Moody is Inocencio, and there's 2 down. It's going to bring up now number 9, Josh Gonzalez, the first baseman.
Now for your Carroll Tigers, first baseman, number 9, Josh Gonzalez.
Tigers with a quick 2-0 lead. We're runner on second.
Oh, you were giving percentages the other day, Doug. I wonder what the percentage is on leadoff walk scoring.
I don't know.
I bet you it's pretty high.
That's a good one. And that was a nice pitch from Ramirez for strike 1. Took a little time to get there, but away from the batter. Foul to the netting and did not make its way through the opening. Gonzalez down quickly, 0-2. On deck for the Tigers is number 11, Christian Hernandez. Timeout called. Ramirez wanted to throw back to second. I just wanted to make sure that Rodriguez made his way back to the bag easy, though. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. Carroll's leading 2-0 over Moody in their second game this week in their district matchup. 1 hops into the catcher, and he's going to head back to the bag. Barron kept it in front. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ramirez taking a long time. Really, really long time. That next pitch was high for ball 2. 2-2. Kind of reminds me of a Cal Allen game, the pace of it, you know?
Nice and slow.
Yes. And a swing and a miss. Gets Moody out of that jam, but they trail here at the top half of the first inning. 2-0. Tigers heading back to the dugout. Moody up to bat. Stay with us. More coming up right after this.
How do you say buenos dias in Texas? Well, first start with a warm flour tortilla made from scratch. Then load it with savory frijoles, fresh scrambled eggs, papas, and shredded cheese. Wait, everything is bigger in Texas. Let's add crispy bacon and homemade salsa. And let's not forget about the weekends y barbacoa. You can enjoy a little piece of home from Laredo Taco Company.
GTech 360 proudly celebrating 20 years in business. What a local internet provider can do for you? No data caps. 24/7 customer support. Expert installations. Locally owned and operated. We connect people and communities. Give us a call today at 361-777-1400 for your internet, VoIP, and security needs.
Back here at Cabinets Field, Doug and Jake hanging out with you on this Saturday afternoon. Game number 3 of our triple header features the Carroll Tigers and the Moody Trojans. It's a quick 2-0 lead for Carroll here in the top half of the first inning, and it's good on the starting lineup for the Moody Trojans. Leading things off will be number 2, Landon Trevino, playing second base. Batting second, number 14, Ernie Gonzalez out in left field. Batting third, Aiden Ramirez, the pitcher, wearing number 15, batting third. Cleanup, number 23, Elohim Ramirez, playing third base. Catcher number 20, Noah Garcia, is batting fifth. Batting in the 6th spot, center fielder number 3, Robert Inocencio. Batting 7, number 22, catcher Abram Barron. Sorry, I made a mistake. Elohim Ramirez is playing third, not catching. Barron is catching, batting 7th. Joaquin Acosta, the shortstop, wearing number 6, batting 8th. And last but not least, number 1, Nico Espinosa out in right field for the Moody Trojans. Defensively for the Tigers, Jake?
You have Elo Rodriguez over in left field, Julian Gonzalez, the center fielder, Christian Hernandez in right. In the infield, Josh Gonzalez is the first baseman, Nico Perez over at second, Isaac Perez is the shortstop, and Matt Rodriguez over at third. Dave Palomo is the Tiger catcher, and Caleb Jimenez on the mound.
Jimenez. First pitch is inside for strike 1. And I'll bring that up here in a minute. Jimenez, the next pitch is a little outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. If I can find that again. So I have to keep scrolling early. There's strike 2, though.
That was all Palomo right there. As that pitch looked outside, but Palomo knows what he's doing there behind the plate.
And there's out number 1. So we were talking about that stat you said I brought up there's Ernie Gonzalez stepping into the left fielder. 67% of strikeouts begin with a first pitch strike. 74% of walks begin with a first pitch ball. 93 of first pitch strikes lead to an out. There's a line shot to second and a nice catch from Nico Perez. There's 2 down quickly. Here's number 15, Aiden Ramirez, the pitcher. They're saying it's not real complicated on that. 67% of Ks begin with a first pitch strike.
The pitcher, number 15, Aiden Ramirez.
2 away quickly for Moody. One of the things I've always learned about this Moody team, no matter what year, what not, never, ever count them out. That's a long strike 1. That high pop-up kind of drifting towards the far first base bleachers down on the other side of the dugout. It kind of stayed inside the field of play, hit off the concrete, and rolled down a long ways down off the line. The Tigers going to pick it up. Jimenez with a full beard. And that's jammed. That's a little lazy shot over the glove of Isaac Perez, and that's a base hit for Aiden Ramirez, helping himself out a little bit. Gets himself on base. It's going to bring up Elohim Ramirez, the third baseman, wearing number 23.
Next up to bat for your Moody Trojans, third baseman, number 23, Elohim Ramirez.
1 on and 2 down for Moody. There's a courtesy runner heading in as number 12. That's John Ortiz stepping to go run for Aiden Ramirez.
Courtesy runner for the Moody Trojans, number 12, John Ortiz.
Jimenez is checking the runner at first. Throws, it's off of Palomo, rolling away and heading down to second base is Ortiz. And timeout called Palomo. Might have been expecting something different there, Jake.
Yeah, maybe they got crossed up, and it's a good time to take a timeout, make sure they get back on track. Got 2 outs here.
You know, Palomo's one of those players who, talking to Marcelo, he's the one calling the game. It's not Marcelo calling the game. He might throw some stuff in there here and there, but for the most part, it is Dave Palomo calling it behind the plate. That's one of the reasons why I feel he's going to go play at the next level. The 1-0. Outside ball 2.
It's rare that you see that these days. There's not a whole lot of that going on at the high school level. It was pretty common back in the day. I remember seeing that a lot, but not here lately. So that is something that is rare to see, the trust that they have in this young man. But remember, he has been a starter for the Carroll Tigers since his freshman year.
It's a 2-1 count.
A lot of trust there.
Oh, yes. Tipped. Strike 2. Jimenez checking the runner. Here's his pitch. It's popped up. Out in right field, Christian Hernandez makes the grab for out number 3. Tigers take a 2-0 lead in the first inning. Coming up now in the second. Stay with us. A lot more coming up from Cabinets Field.
This is our ILX F511. This is our top-of-the-line floating screen radio. We have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We've also got a cool feature on this called our dash cam. This interfaces with our DVC320R dash cam. Come on by to Competition Sounds. The guys up there will figure out what's going to fit perfectly in your car and give you the best sound you've ever had.
Every life has a personal story. Our funeral services are as unique as the lives they celebrate. We will assist you with personalizing your funeral service to create a meaningful experience for all. Let us help you tell your loved one's story. We make it personal.
News Talk KEYS.
Back here at Cabinets Field, Doug Kesterson, Jake Vasquez, who are now our special guest, wanted to bring in and introduce to you. His name is Luis Bettis. He is the center fielder for the King Mustangs. How's it going today first for you, Louis?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good. We had our game earlier at 11 a.m., and now I'm back here for this matchup between Moody and Carroll.
So you get to watch some free baseball, but you also wanted to kind of learn kind of behind the scenes of what we do here. Here's Aiden Ramirez back on the mound for the Trojans, takes the first pitch and throws it in. He gets strike 1 to Christian Hernandez. So far here, what you've seen, so it's impressive, crazy, a lot going on, a lot more than you thought going on.
It's very impressive, a lot going on. It's a lot of little details you don't really get to see from the outside.
And ball fouled off from Hernandez, 0-2. Ramirez holding that glove high, like over his nose. Little comebacker to the mound, snags it. Nice, easy throw over to first and gets the first out. A 1-3 put out. We're going to bring up number 8, Julian Gonzalez, the center fielder.
Good job defensively right there by Ramirez, but he is the Trojan starting third baseman, so not unfamiliar with having to play some defense.
Right. Here's the number 8 hitter for the Tigers. The first pitch drops in a thing of beauty there. It's strike number 1. We've been talking about, especially in your game, how I really like your defense, Luis. As strike 2 comes across in there, I like the fact that you're always backing someone up. Whether the throw down to second, you're coming in to make sure that it doesn't take a long time to roll out. You're not kind of standing around, watching the turf grow, so to speak,
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's a really small detail of the game that I really take a lot of pride in. It really takes, you never know when the ball could be coming at you, when you could get that ball that get past someone.
Pitch goes outside for Ramirez. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I also think that's a really important thing, too, is if when the ball is hit, it makes its way out of the infield, you're not waiting on the ball to get to you. You're charging the ball. And there's a swing and a miss from Gonzalez, and he's down swinging for out number 2. Next up will be second baseman number 2, Nico Perez. Were you taught something like that playing baseball a long, long time? Is it something you've always done, or something that Coach Barrera has brought to you and said, hey, this is what we want you guys to do?
I think it's something I've always tried to do my best on, but I really think Coach Barrera has really harped on it a lot and made it really important, not just me, but our entire defense.
Get in there and make sure you get to the ball. And that's strike 1. 1-1 they count. I think it's a small detail that nobody's paid attention to, but that's really an important deal. Because how many times have we seen that, Jake, with King playing, where they've able to keep an extra base hit off the table, and that ball's hit up in the air. It's slicing in there, but Inocencio running up and making the grab for out number 3. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Tigers here. No hits and nobody left on. Top half of the second. We're going to take a break. Stay with us. More coming up from Cabinets after this.
Trying to get into college can be overwhelming, but the TRIO Educational Opportunity Center is here to guide you through it. TRIO helps students from Nueces, Refugio, and San Patricio counties with college applications, financial aid, college admission testing, GEDs, and so much more. We'll help you realize your dreams, reach your educational goals. And the best part? We do it for free. Together, we can help you get into any college of your choice. Call or click today to see if you qualify.
Hey guys, it's Devin over here, same Super Center. If you're looking for it, I got it. Like this whole line of beautiful trucks from Ford, Chevy to GMC. BMWs, Broncos Sports, Edges, we got it all. Even super cool Mustangs like this 5.0. Remember, you want to see this or anything else on my lot? Do yourself a favor, ask for Devin. Remember, shop saves and save.
It's South Texas High School Baseball on News Talk KEYS.
Back here at Cabinets Field, Doug Kesterson, Jake Vasquez, and being joined by center fielder of the King Mustangs, Louis Bettis. Here, game number 2 between Moody and Carroll this week. Moody won the first game 5-2 on Tuesday night. They bunted to perfection against Carroll in that ball game, Jake, and that was the thing of beauty, and they just couldn't stop it that day.
Basically bunted their way to victory, I would say.
They did.
I should look back in between innings here just to see how many bunts for a base hit they did in that game.
Do you remember, Louis?
I believe it was 3 in a row to get 3 runners on, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they did quite a few. Let's see.
I think you're right. Here's Noah Garcia. 5, 6, and 7 batters due up. Noah Garcia, Robbie Inocencio, and number 22, Abram Barone.
I counted 6 base hits via the bunt.
But what Pettis was saying was 3 in a row to get 3 runners on.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was like, wow. Next pitch fouled back to the screen from Caleb Jimenez. It is right between the Miller Buccaneer and the Moody Trojan logo. That's one of the times that it's rare that it does not land in one of the logos. It seems like every time it comes off the net, it lands in a logo in the white. Pitch high from Jimenez, ball 2. 2-1. And it always wants to seem to roll in the white. It's kind of hard to see the ball from our vantage point up here. Like, where did it go? It's different on the floor, on the ground, I'm sure, from your vantage point, being on deck, standing over there by the dugout. You can see it clearly. That's a shot over to shortstop, fielded up by Pettis, throws over to first. And there's one away. Thought for a second that Gonzalez picked his foot up off the bag and was able to get it back on, make sure he secured the out. His momentum carrying him off just a little bit. Now it brings up the center fielder, number 3, Robbie Inocencio.
Number 3, Robert Inocencio.
Do you have a stat line from the other night?
Stat line from the other night? Yeah. I know where I can find it a lot quicker.
First pitch, strike 1. It was on Game Changer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're not keeping that today, are you?
No. Not today.
Jimenez's pitch is low for ball 1, 1-1. So
off of Game Changer duty today.
That was a lot.
Oh,
Producing the string, keeping up the score, and keeping up with Game Changer, working with that. The 1-1. Strike 2. This does not have the courtesy pause. He's not as fast as we've seen some of them, but he's there and he's like, boom.
So for the Trojans in that ball game, 5 runs on 11 hits. They committed 2 errors. And the Carroll Tigers, 2 runs on 8 hits. They also committed 2 errors.
Next pitch to Inocencio, low for ball 2. You played up against Inocencio now a couple of seasons, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
He slaps that out into right field. One hopper. They're going to throw it. And that was Christian Hernandez trying to get that ball back into Josh Gonzalez. Or as Jimenez is covering there for a moment. No, it's not. Gonzalez has a beard, too. Thought for a moment it was Jimenez. Look at the side.
Very
they look
similar.
I'm like, whoa, almost fooled for a second.
Very similar.
Here's Abram Baron.
They almost look like brothers.
They do. I thought for a moment that Jimenez went over to cover the bag for a second. I was like, wait a minute, he didn't. Pitch gets away from Palomo. But Inocencio stays put. It's ball 1. That wind give you any problems? We were talking about it a little bit earlier when you were in center field this afternoon or this morning.
It's definitely an issue in all of our games we had this week. You know, it depends. You know, it's either you see the ball coming right at you, and next thing you know, it's right in front of you or going 5 more feet behind you.
1-1 the count, a swing and a miss from Boron.
Another question I had for you, too, is the transition. I mean, you guys practice, obviously, at King High School, no turf. It's just grass. Is it a big transition to have to play on the turf?
Palomo's throw in time. What a thing of beauty that was. And it was a swing and a miss from Boron. There's 2 away. And I love the fact that Jimenez got out of the way. We did the game with Veterans Memorial, who was it? Jordan Garza threw, and then his pitcher didn't get out of the way, threw it right in the arm and kind of turned back a dirty look like, hey, man, you duck. Jimenez got out of the way, gave a clear lane for Palomo to throw down to second. He put it on the second base side, or second baseman side of the bag, which is perfect, throwing to get the runner off. Swing and a miss. And Baron goes down swinging for the 3rd out. Trojans get a runner on, able to get him off there as he was throwing out, trying to steal second base. We're going to the top of the 3rd. Carroll leading 2-0.
Meet some of our residents at Gulf Coast Humane Society. When you find your new family member, they'll be spayed or neutered, up to date on vaccinations, and microchipped. Your adoption fee also includes 6 months of heartworm prevention, a free vet visit, post-adoption support, and more. If you fall in love with one of our heartworm-positive dogs, we will also provide their treatment at no extra cost to you. Come find your new furry friend at Gulf Coast Humane Society, completing families since 1945.
Hi, I'm Bob Euchre. I was 5 years old when Lou Gehrig retired from baseball because of ALS. It's been 8 decades since Lou's speech, and we still don't have a cure for this devastating disease that affects thousands of Americans every year, including my daughter Leanne. But we are making progress, and we need your help to finally strike out ALS. Please join us by visiting ALS.org. Thank you.
It's South Texas High School baseball on News Talk KEYS.
Back at Cabinets Field, Doug Kesterson, Jake Vasquez, joined by center fielder of the King Mustangs, Louis Pettis, sitting in the booth with us learning. We did have a question we asked as we're getting ready for the Tigers coming up to bat. We're back to the top of the order with Isaac Pettis, Caleb Jimenez, and Dave Palomo all due up 1, 2, 3. The question that I asked to Louis Pettis was, do you guys have an adjustment period practicing on a natural grass, infield, outfield, or natural turf, so to speak, at King versus on the turf? What was the answer, Louis?
Yes, sir, we do. So here at Cabinets, all the games are on turf. So at practice, we actually practice on the football field, which is turf. And it really helps simulate that games that we play here at Cabinets and helps simulate the bounces and everything.
Definitely, we were talking about the bounces a little bit earlier. Laredo United kind of misplayed one. One guy had to wait for it to bounce in front of him. Isaac Pettis takes the first pitch in for strike one. He was able to get a walk his first hit bat. He stole second base. He reached third on an error and able to score the first run for the Tigers in the top half of the first inning. Line shot, makes his way out of the right field. Pettis is on with a single. Here's Caleb Jimenez, who popped up to Ramirez. He's 0 for 1.
Next up to bat for your Carroll Tigers, the pitcher number 5.
Palomo on deck, followed by Matthew Rodriguez. Here's the first pitch. Ground ball to third. Throw to second. Pulls off the bag. Throw to first is not in time. Force out at second. A 5-4 put out. That's the first out. Reaches on a fielder's choice is Caleb Jimenez. David Marcello going to go out and talk to the umpires like, hold on, he pulled him off the bag. The umpire's going to probably say it was enough. In your opinion, what do you think, Louis?
It looks like that Landon Trevino looks like he was right there on the base.
Even though his momentum carried him off, it was enough for you, in your opinion, that the out counts.
I think it was enough.
Number 12, De Palomo.
Here's De Palomo, who tripled his first at-bat, has the RBI. First pitch into him is low, ball 1. And if Palomo continued in this ball game in the rest through district play, just keep doing what he's doing like he did his first at bat, take what they're giving him, drive it, good things will happen for the Tigers. 1-0. Smoked it to third, off the glove. And I do not think they're going to call that an error. That was an awfully hard hit ball.
Next up to bat for your Carroll Tigers, third baseman number 3, Matthew Rodriguez.
And they're going to give it an error. An E5. So 2 on now for the Tigers with 1 out. Here is Matthew Rodriguez, who singled his first at bat. Timeout call for a moment. It's going to step back. Ramirez checking the runner. Here's his pitch. Hard hit. Makes his way out the outfield. Jimenez heading around third, coming home. The throw is offline. Palomo's in at third and hustling down to second base. And he's safe. I feel he probably went out on that one. It was Matthew Rodriguez.
Yeah, good heads-up base running right there, and the throw came in from the outfield. It was off target. It gave him a chance to take off to second base, and now the Tigers really threatening here, 2 in scoring position with just 1 out.
And they lead 3-0. Eloy Rodriguez, who flied out to center his first at-bat. One of the things we were talking about just a moment ago, Lewis, is the first pitch is low and away, ball 1. How the winds, the cold front, the winds blowing out of the north on Tuesday in your first game was really, really strong. It made a note that instead of playing center where Inocencio is, and like you were today, past the logo, you were inside the logo on Tuesday night. And that was a big difference of how that ball, the wind was blowing in so hard, knocking everything down. It's a 1-1 count. There's strike 2 quickly. Now it's a 1-2 count to Eloy Rodriguez with 1 away. Tigers leading 3-0. Is that something, Coach Bro, that I told you, or something you knew yourself you needed to do? And a swing and a miss brings up strike number 3. There's 2 down.
And back to what you said about the win, that really is something that our coaches really do help us with. They really, you know, they tell us to look at the win and see where you think, and we'll help you adjust any way we can.
Here's Josh Gonzalez, who struck out his first at bat. 2 strikeouts down in the ball game. 3 strikeouts down in the ball game for Ramirez. Had Gonzalez out in front on that one. Strike 1. And fouled away for strike 2.
Had a funky sound to it.
Yeah, it did. Like off the end of the bat. Next pitch is high, ball 1. The Tiger fans in the house tonight, they had a couple of them. I'm not sure. It's probably one of the players that graduated. They would take their keys and start tapping on the bleachers. Do you remember that last year?
I don't think so. But that's definitely intimidating for any team they're playing against.
It's just that constant ding, 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 ding. Tiger faithful can be as loud as the Moody faithful. I can promise you that. Here's the 2-2. Well, that was off Boron a little bit too, and he's like, His ump's going to walk around and give time for Boron to kind of gather himself. And your catcher, Drew Garcia, we saw that earlier today. Was it today or was it last night? I think it was last night. He took one off the forearm. One of those foul balls. It looked like it got him right off here. He kind of shook it off like, I'm good. You know he felt it, right?
Oh yeah, Drew's a pretty tough guy though. He can take any hit.
That's the impression that he gives, that's for sure.
Right.
You see him out there, he looks like he's a gamer.
Of course, with that solo homer last night, here's the 2-2. Ground ball. Fielded, throw to first. In time to get the third and final out on a 6-3 putout. But the Tigers add another run. They lead Moody 3-0. Stay with us. Back after this.
How do you say buenos dias in Texas? Well, first start with a warm flour tortilla made from scratch. Then load it with savory frijoles, fresh scrambled eggs, papas, and shredded cheese. Wait, everything is bigger in Texas. Let's add crispy bacon and homemade salsa. And let's not forget about the weekends y barbacoa. You can enjoy a little piece of home from Laredo Taco Company.
GTech 360 proudly celebrating 20 years in business. What a local internet provider can do for you? No data caps. 24/7 customer support. Expert installations. Locally owned and operated. We connect people and communities. Give us a call today at 361-777-1400 for your internet, VoIP, and security needs.
Here at Cabinets Field, Doug Kesterson, Jake Vasquez, and Luis Perez in the booth with you. Luis is a senior at King High School, the center fielder. And, of course, he's sitting in, wanting to learn a little bit and kind of see how a game like this works behind the scenes, and definitely get a little bit of behind the scenes. We were talking about his teammate, Drew Garcia, and a great player he has been. Where's Drew going to go play?
Glenn College.
Okay. And you are heading to where next year?
To UT Austin.
And you're going to study what?
I'm going to study kinesiology.
In hopes of doing?
To hopefully come back or maybe venture out somewhere else to be a coach, hopefully.
Oh, you want to be a coach?
Yes, sir.
That's good. Need more coaches around here. Don't have enough sometimes. What makes you decided you wanted to become a coach, Lewis?
I just think I have a lot of knowledge on not just baseball, but really any game I can watch, basically. And I really think I could help a lot of people, help people be better, and hopefully help them win.
Acosta takes the first pitch inside as he has to jump back for ball number 1. You all right, Jake? And Jimenez throws another nice pitch right down in there. That's strike 1. It's a 1-1 count to Joaquin Acosta. Palomo framed that back in. That's strike 2. And that's something I know that some of the catchers in this area that do a great job of. Garcia did that earlier today. We were able to kind of that nonchalant flip the wrist. That slapped foul in the air. Long, long run. Can he get there? He did! In foul territory. Josh Gonzalez with the out.
That was a great run.
That's a hard run to go do, playing first base, running away. You know there's a fence coming up soon. You can see the warning turf, so to speak, the difference between the green and the brown, and that's a hard thing. It's like tracking a fly ball in the outfield and or like a football pass, you know?
And especially with these winds, it's really tough, especially in the infield.
Yeah.
Here's Nico Espinosa. Ground ball to short, fielded by Pettis, fires over to first. 1 pitch, 2 down now. 6-3 put out. Back to the top of the order. Here's number 2, Landon Trevino, who struck out. How quickly some of these games change. Well, we looked like the other night with Moody and Carroll. Thought for sure Moody would just start laying down bunt after bunt after bunt. Not that we haven't seen him attempt a bunt yet here in this ball game at all. Ground ball. Pettis fields it, throws over to first, in time. 3 up, 3 down. 6-3 put out to retire the side. No runs for Moody. Carroll leads 3-0. We're going to the 4th inning.
This is our ILX F511. This is our top of the line floating screen radio. We have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We've also got a cool feature on this called our dash cam. This interfaces with our DVC320R dash cam. Come on by to Competition Sounds. The guys up there will figure out what's going to fit perfectly in your car and give you the best sound you've ever had.
Every life has a personal story. Our funeral services are as unique as the lives they celebrate. We will assist you with personalizing your funeral service to create a meaningful experience for all. Let us help you tell your loved one's story. We make it personal.
It's South Texas High School Baseball on News Talk KEYS.
Back here at Cabinets Field, Doug Kesterson, Jake Vasquez, Luis Pettis with you. Hope you're having a good Saturday afternoon. This is game number 3 of our triple header, and we're now to the top of the 4th inning. Carroll leads Moody 3-0. Due up, number 11, Christian Hernandez, number 8, Julian Gonzalez, and number 2, Nico Pettis, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters here in the 4th inning for the Tigers. Josh Gonzalez with that nice catch. And we were talking, Lewis, you said, you know, the Mustangs have had not a whole lot of success doing that, but that was just a really hard play to go do, right?
Yes, sir. That was a really tough play, and he made it look easy, if anything.
But Hernandez takes that first pitch for ball 1, right? Is that what you have, Jake?
No, first pitch right here.
Okay.
Or, no, you are right. I missed one.
Okay. Ball 2. I thought I saw one come in already. There's the strike on the outside corner. It's 2-1. The pitch, outside, 3-1. Of course, we'll be back here Tuesday night. We have Carroll and Veterans Memorial at 5:30 and Flower Bluff and Moody at 8. And a swing and a miss brings us to a full count. We have Victoria West and King. We will see the Mustangs again here on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And then 2 games on Friday as that ball's popped up in the air. A long run coming forward as Garcia makes the grab in foul territory. So now we've had 2 first basemen make a catch in foul territory tonight in back-to-back half innings. Julian Gonzalez coming up.
2 nice plays, you know. We're talking about that wind, and that's a tough play. It's a tough play on a night like tonight.
High breaking ball hangs up in there for ball number 1.
Remember, I was telling you, Doug, that most often in the minor league baseball, if the catcher the catcher misses, Called strike right there, 1-1 to count. It's going to be an error, but here for the hooks, because of the wind and the way it whips around in Whataburger Field, it's not always assumed an error. As he fouls that one back, so 1-2 count.
Thank you to our sponsors, G-Tech Communications, Stripes, and the Laredo Taco Company, Del Mar College Trio Program, and Charlie Marshall Funeral Home. Swing and a miss. Gonzalez goes down swinging for the second time today. 2 down now for the Tigers, brings up the number 9 hitter, number 2, Nico Pettis, the second baseman.
Coming to the plate now for your Carroll Tigers, second baseman, number 2, Nico Pettis.
Considering last night's games, you know, it was a quick outing in the first game. Didn't take but about an hour and a half. We started the second game between GP and Miller, and it was a tightly contested ball game in that one between GP and Miller for the longest time. A quick 2-0 count now to Nico Pettis. There's strike 1, 2-1 to count. Ramirez walks around on the mound for a moment. Top of the order, Isaac Pettis on deck. That one gets away. That's going to say it hit him. So Pettis is going to head down by a hit by pitch to first base, and now brings up Isaac Pettis. I like the fact that Caleb Jimenez picked up that ball that got away, goes and hands it to the umpire. Like, hey, I need some, here you go, sir. I need some good calls out of you, you know, my friend.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, I agree. Big hack from Pettis to strike 1. Walked his first at bat, stole a base, reached third on an error, singled, and was out in a force out. Slapped it. Does it make it through? No, it doesn't. Fielded by the second base. Throw over to first on a 4-3 put out to get out of the inning. Tigers go scoreless here in the top half of the 4th. They lead Moody 3-0. Bottom of the 4th on the way after this.
Trying to get into college can be overwhelming, but the TRIO Educational Opportunity Center is here to guide you through it. TRIO helps students from Nueces, Refugio, and San Patricio counties with college applications, financial aid, college admission testing, GEDs, and so much more. We'll help you realize your dreams, reach your educational goals. And the best part? We do it for free. Together, we can help you get into any college of your choice. Call or click today to see if you qualify.
Hey guys, it's Devin over here, same Super Center. If you're looking for it, I got it. Like this whole line of beautiful trucks from Ford, Chevy to GMC. BMWs, Bronco Sports, Edges, we got it all. Even super cool Mustangs like this 5.0. Remember, you want to see this or anything else on my lot? Do yourself a favor, ask for Devin. Remember, shop saves and save.
South Texas High School Baseball on News Talk KEYS.
Back here at Cabinets Field, Doug Kesterson, Jake Vasquez, and Louis Pettis with you here in game number 3 of our triple header this afternoon. Once again, the first game we had the GP Wildcats and the King Mustangs in a crossover game. GP wins 2-1 in that ball game. Veterans Memorial walks it off against Laredo United 5-4 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And we have a 3-0 lead for Carroll over Moody here in our game 3 of 3. Thank you so much to our sponsors. We appreciate your support all season long. That's our friends over at G-Tech Communications, Stripes, and the Laredo Taco Company, Del Mar College Trio Program, and Charlie Marshall Funeral Home. The Corpus Christi Car Show is coming up on Saturday, a week from today, noon to 5 at the American Bank Center. We'd love to see you guys there. Make sure you're in attendance for that game. We'll have a good day. You get to take pictures with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. How about that? That's a good day, isn't it, Lewis?
Oh, yeah. Sounds like fun.
Leading up for your Moody Trojans, left fielder number 14, Ernesto Gonzalez.
Yes, there is Ernie Gonzalez, as we like to call him, right, Jake?
Ernie.
Takes the first pitch from Jimenez for strike 1. He lined out to second his first at bat. Ernie with that tall frame. Fouls that backing out of play. He's behind 0-2.
Now foul ball sponsored by J.J. Morales of the Moody alumni.
Palomo sets up outside the 0-2. And that's ball one. I like watching Drew do that. I've watched Jordan Garza do that a bunch. He did some of that earlier this afternoon. But even Palomo, where they'll try to influence it, they'll come back inside, they'll work outside, setting up as catcher, trying to get the call, see if they can keep something away from the batter. Do you notice that as a batter?
Yes, you really can notice, you know, if the pitch is a little out here and suddenly it's in there and it's called strike.
Jammed him. That's going to go drift into the bleachers. Almost had a great catch by a fan. Almost. Off the fingertips. I did that once. Taken batting practice. It was batting practice. Andrew Jones for the Atlanta Braves. It was at Minute Maid Park against the Astros. And I was out in right field. And he smacks one really hard and good. Gets in my hands and I drop it in the bullpen. Yeah. 32. And who else is watching, shagging fly balls in the outfield but Greg Maddox? Looks over at me and kind of shakes his head like, boom. And I was like, oh, man.
Trying to press the old man.
That's hit up in the air, drifting a long, long run. Does it drop in? It does. To the wall. Gonzalez heading around second. Here's the throw. A little late. Triple. And it gets away, but nice heads-up play by the Tigers. Who is that, number 15? Who's that hustling in? Eloy Rodriguez, the left fielder, comes all the way over to back up his third baseman. That's exactly what I was talking about with you, how you taught that, but that's a smart move. That saved a run right there.
And if you're Moody, that's a great way. That's a great way to get your offense going right now.
Here's Aiden Ramirez, who singled his first at bat, reached second on a pass ball. He meant his first pitch. Low, ball one.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Louis, they need base runners. Kind of nice to start with your base runner over at third base, 90 feet away.
Ground ball to short. Isaac Pettis fields it, throws to first. It's high, comes down, gets the out. That was an athletic play right there. You're going to look for sure like it was going to go over. Stayed in the glove on a 6-3 put out. The run does score. It's now 3-1. Moody gets their first run of the ball game. One away now, brings up number 23, Elohim Ramirez, who flied out to right his first at bat.
Moody Trojans, third baseman, number 23, Elohim Ramirez.
And again, Josh Gonzalez with another great play over there at first base.
Ground ball to Isaac Pettis. Routine this time is much better throw. Back-to-back 6-3 putouts. Here's Noah Garcia with little brother. So we were told that's Noah Garcia's little brother as the bat boy for Moody.
That's awesome.
Lucas.
His name's Lucas? Okay.
Lucas.
Fun fact, my older sister played softball with Noah Garcia's older sister.
Really?
Yes.
Oof.
Oh.
And Garcia says, okay, I'm going to head down to first base after that hit by pitch. And it brings up number 3, Robert Inocencio. At King or at Moody?
They both went to King. And they also played select softball together, actually, travel softball.
Center fielder number 3, Robert Inocencio.
Yeah, so me and Noah have been around each other for a very long time.
You didn't know that was his little brother as a bat boy, though?
I did not know that, no.
So I take it you have not met the little brother?
I don't think so, no.
The 3 was going to be the first pitch. 3-1 is the score. Was that strike?
I think it was a ball.
I think it's a ball. It is a ball. It changed it. That's ball 2. Triple header of baseball this afternoon. I've been here for the long haul. I got here about 9:45 this morning. It's not too bad.
I know I mentioned this before, but Robin Osencio, he's one of those guys that the Moody Trojans would really like to get him going. Was really important last season. He was one of their top hitters, and they'd really love for him to get going. And good eye right here as he takes the count to 3-0. Did get a hit in his first at-bat, so I know he is very frustrated with the struggles that he's had here in the season. So they'd like to see him get going, but I know he'd like to see himself get going here too.
There's strike after a 3-0 count. Now 3-1. And speaking of bunting today, that was jammed up in the air. It's in foul territory. Coming over making a run. Matthew Rodriguez makes the grab in foul territory. Moody gets a run across. They leave a man on. Stay with us. More coming up. It's 3-1 Tigers going into the 5th inning.
Meet some of our residents at Gulf Coast Humane Society. When you find your new family member, they'll be spayed or neutered, up to date on vaccinations, and microchipped. Your adoption fee also includes 6 months of heartworm prevention, a free vet visit, post-adoption support, and more. If you fall in love with one of our heartworm-positive dogs, we will also provide their treatment at no extra cost to you. Come find your new furry friend at Gulf Coast Humane Society, completing families since 1945.
Hi, I'm Bob Euchre. I was 5 years old when Lou Gehrig retired from baseball because of ALS. It's been 8 decades since Lou's speech, and we still don't have a cure for this devastating disease that affects thousands of Americans every year, including my daughter Leanne. But we are making progress, and we need your help to finally strike out ALS. Please join us by visiting als.org. Thank you.
It's South Texas High School Baseball on News Talk KEYS.
We're back here at Cabinets Field. Doug Kesterson, Jake Vasquez, Luis Pettis this afternoon as we have game number 3 of our 3-game matinee setup here this afternoon. It's a 3-1 lead for the Carroll Tigers, 4 hits for the Tigers, 3 hits for the Moody Trojans, and they have committed 2 errors in this ball game. Due up for the Tigers is the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Caleb Jimenez, Dave Palomo, Matthew Rodriguez. A F1 on Jimenez, and he reached on a fielder's choice and scored the run in the 3rd inning for the Tigers. Ramirez. First pitch is a little low, ball 1. There's a breaking ball that hits the outside corner. The umpires today, they really liked a lot of the away pitches, Jake.
Yeah, they've liked these corner pitches. The crowd, not
May
so
not,
much.
yes. Have you noticed that today too as well? I mean, seeing it, they work on the outside. It's like, okay, when you're up there, does it look like it's a strike to you, or does it look like it's way off?
Most of the time, it looks like it's dropping in there, but there's a couple times where it's just, sometimes it looks a little bit out, but you never know what the umpires are seeing sometimes.
There's strike 2. Count is full now to number 5, Caleb Jimenez.
Pretty far back over here and up high, but it feels like you get a good view.
That's hit up in the air, hanging, and Inocencio comes over and makes the grab. And left center field for out number 1. Brings up Dave Palomo. Palomo has tripled and reached on an error. It's making contact for somebody who had been struggling in a couple of games so far this year. He's done a nice job.
Sometimes you just need one good game, Doug. Get your confidence back and take off.
That one got away from Baron. It rolls away for ball 1. Very quiet crowd here in this 3rd game. Seemed like I had a little bit more buzz in the air for the first 2 ball games. Although the first GP King game, the first half of the ball game was a little quiet at times too.
It was too early. I think people were trying to wake up still.
I think so as well. We had a late night last night. That wasn't as bad. I mean, we got home. It's still late, but had a little work to do as well. That drops in for strike one on a 2-0 count. 2 balls, 1 strike with 1 down here in the top half of the 5th inning. Carroll leading Moody 3-1. Palomo taking all the way, strike 2. He thought it was high, and that curve just rolled right off the table. And the count worked full now, back-to-back batters. Do not see anybody in the Moody bullpen. Palomo calls time. And he's ready to roll. Umpire says, let's play. Here's the 3-2. Ball 4. So Dave Palomo has been on base 3 times in this ball game. Brings up number 3, Matthew Rodriguez, who singled twice today. He's 2 for 2.
Next up to bat for the Carroll Tigers, third baseman number 3, Matthew Rodriguez.
Notice they let Palomo run for himself here in this ball game, which is not something they always did with Day, especially for a catcher.
I think maybe after that first throw to first, that Palomo's not necessarily the most fleet of foot. He's not slow, but he's not a threat like a Damon Hernandez or even speeded like Louis is, but they want to make sure he doesn't try to take off on him. Oof, right off of Ramirez. Only plays a first, gets a force out. Palomo had rounded the bag, and he is safe at second. They're going to go check on Aiden Ramirez.
It's a good heads-up play.
Very good heads-up play. He had to feel all of that one. That's a 1-3 put out. There's 2 down now for the Tigers with a man in scoring position. It brings number 15, Eloy Rodriguez, who is over 2 with a fly out and a strikeout. I believe head coach Joe Cudiel going to go over and check out on him. Seems to be fine. Doesn't seem to be shaking anything off. Doesn't seem to be walking around kind of like, hey, I'm feeling the effects of that one. They're going to let him have a warm-up pitch or 2.
Maybe just a little shock.
Shock's probably a good description right there.
Did it hit off of his glove or of his body?
I believe it was glove.
You think it got more glove than anything else?
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Tigers left fielder number 15, Eloy Rodriguez.
First pitch is high, ball 1. I mean, it did seem like it didn't come off of his body. He's not feeling, you know, he didn't grimace, he didn't make a sound, he didn't pause or hesitate, he just reacted quickly. That's fouled, 1-1. And that's off Baron's foot.
Right off the toes.
Yeah.
He's definitely feeling that one.
Mm-hmm. That's why the umpire's walking out, both of them. They're going to stand out on the mound for a moment, walk around. Dun, 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 dun. That's where we need the Jeopardy thing, right?
Yeah. Just one little button, click it.
Uh-huh. They're going to have a courtesy runner come in for Palomo now with 2 outs, I bet. Or he's going to hand something off. No, there's a courtesy runner heading in for Palomo. Is that number 13 in for the Tigers?
Looks like it might be 13, yeah.
13 is Christian Pena. It's a 1-1 count. Baron seems to be okay. That got away, and heading down to third is Pena. Two balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Ball 3. Three and one now with 2 outs. Runner on third for the Tigers. They lead 3-1. Ground ball to short, fielded. Throw over to first, in time to retire the side. Tigers get a man on, they leave him stranded. Going to the bottom of the 5th, they lead 3-1.
How do you say buenos dias in Texas? Well, first start with a warm flour tortilla made from scratch. Then load it with savory frijoles, fresh scrambled eggs, papas, and shredded cheese. Wait, everything is bigger in Texas. Let's add crispy bacon and homemade salsa. And let's not forget about the weekends y barbacoa. You can enjoy a little piece of home from Laredo Taco Company.
GTech 360 proudly celebrating 20 years in business. What a local internet provider can do for you? No data caps. 24/7 customer support. Expert installations. Locally owned and operated. We connect people and communities. Give us a call today at 361-777-1400 for your internet, VoIP, and security needs.
Back here at Cabinets Field, Doug Kesterson, Jake Vasquez, Luis Bettis. Louis. Call him anything you want. Don't call him late for supper, right?
Definitely not. Usually the first one there.
There you go. Hey, man, you're a growing boy. I don't blame you one bit. Bottom of the 5th inning, Moody Trojans due up. Should be number 22, Abram Baron, number 6, Joaquin Acosta, number 1, Nico Espinosa. See how Baron's foot is feeling after he took that foul ball off the toes. Gonna step down out of bed tomorrow and realize, oof, okay, why is that hurting?
Is it Louis?
Louis, yes.
Louis.
Leading up for your Moody Trojans, they captured number 22, Abram Baron.
Jimenez. Looks like he stepped off. Now he's going to be ready to roll. First pitch fouled back and out of play for strike 1. We get used to these landing up there on top of the press box.
Do they stay up there or roll down?
They roll. It has a real big slope. Pitch is low and away, ball 1. Allows the rain not to stay on it and kind of roll back on the backside between the concession stand and like the front gate. And there's a little, I guess it's a little girl. Is it a little girl or is it a little boy? Right down there with the baseball. The red shirt says Nike. Fouled off. She's got a big grin on her face. I got the baseball.
I remember before, if you brought the foul ball, you used to get free ice cream from McDonald's.
Yes, they used to give those away. Back when we were in Little League and playing stuff back in those days, they used to give a free snow cone. That was actually kind of cool. And if you were a catcher back in those times, Frank Eichels was the catcher. You were able to, he would give you, if he didn't get hit with a ball, you got an extra snow cone as a catcher. And that was like all you needed to not let him get hit by a ball.
That was your inspiration right there.
Yeah, he was all about it, man. You can walk out of there with 2 grape snow cones. That's ball 4.
Grape snow cone's the best.
Dude, I'm telling you. Joaquin Acosta stepping in now. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out in to first base. That was fun back in those days. Courtesy runner, number 4, Jack Cerda.
Moody Trojans, number 4, Jack Cerda. And up to bat now for Moody Trojans, shortstop number 6, Joaquin Acosta.
Acosta shows bunt. Pulls it back, takes the first pitch from Jimenez for ball 1.
And if you're Moody, this is exactly what you want right now, getting your first runner on. Hopefully getting some momentum for the offense to get going.
Lays down the bunt. Jimenez has one play, makes the out, but you get the runner at second.
Yeah, you got to figure Joaquin did his job right there with the sac bunt, gets the runner into scoring position.
He did lay the bunt down and went down the first base line. With his body, you know, Jimenez's body carrying him towards first base after that throw is pretty easy. Here's Nico Espinosa.
And that bunt resulted in an out, but
yeah, the scoreboard's showing
really
2 outs. It's only 1 away.
That bunt really helped Moody move that guy over to second base, closer to
yes.
home.
Pitch is low for ball 1. Correct, right?
That's
it's
what
only
I
one
got.
away.
One away, yeah. It was Abram who led things off, and he was on base.
There's a strike, so it's a 1-1 count with 1 out.
You know, Louis, we were talking about earlier the bunt, the sacrifice bunt in particular, that, you know, you see a lot of young men that don't want to lay down a bunt. And I think that the misconception is it's gonna hurt my batting average if I get out, but a sacrifice does not affect your batting average. So you see that a lot, and I've been asked, because I've done score for quite a bit, and I'll get asked, does that affect? And I think that's what a lot of people think.
Ground ball fielded by the short, throws over to first in time. Isaac Pettis with another routine throw. 6-3 put out, but the runner makes his way to third base. Back to the top of the order. Here's number 2, Landon Trevino, who is struck out and grounded out today. The younger brother of our current student athlete of the week, Aiden Trevino. Aiden said Landon has a better GPA and is a better student than he is.
Wow.
That's what I said. Really? He's got a 4.67. How do you do better than a 4.67?
That's impressive.
Extremely. First pitch from Jimenez is outside, ball 1. You know yours off the top of the head?
Right now I'm sitting at a 4.38.
Really? Taking
Yes,
on AP, National Honor Society, all that stuff?
I'm actually the historian for
there you
our
go.
National Honor Society.
Swing and a miss is strike 1. Landon Trevino has a 1-1 count. Very cool. So what do you do for volunteering? Because I know being part of National Honor Society, you have to volunteer hours. You're required to do, what, 30?
Right now I think it's 25.
Strike 2. What have you done so far this year?
One thing I've done this year is with the baseball team, actually, we helped do the wreaths at the Veterans Cemetery.
Yes. Ground ball makes his way over to second base, deep in the hole, throws over to first, got it. Trevino was hustling down the line, but a 4-3 put out. Retires the threat. Moody gets a man on. They leave him stranded. We're going to the 6th inning. Stay with us.
This is our ILX F511. This is our top-of-the-line floating screen radio. We have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We've also got a cool feature on this called our dash cam. This interfaces with our DVC320R dash cam. Come on by to Competition Sounds. The guys up there will figure out what's going to fit perfectly in your car and give you the best sound you've ever had.
Every life has a personal story. Our funeral services are as unique as the lives they celebrate. We will assist you with personalizing your funeral service to create a meaningful experience for all. Let us help you tell your loved one's story. We make it personal.
To the action, South Texas High School Baseball on News Talk KEYS.
Back here at Cabinets Field, Doug, Jake, and Louie hanging out with you here on this triple header. We're now to the top of the 6th inning. Thank you to our sponsors this season. We appreciate your support all season long. It's our friends over at G-Tech Communications, Stripes, and the Laredo Taco Company, Del Mar College Trio program. and Charlie Marshall Funeral Home. Appreciate you guys, all your support. We should have a new sponsor coming on Monday, Tuesday or so. Hopefully, we'll have all that ready to roll by then. Excited about that.
Tigers, first baseman number 9, Josh Gonzalez.
Here's Josh Gonzalez, who struck out and grounded out today. 0 for 2. Popped up. Long run. Inocencio calling off it. The left fielder makes the grab for out number 1. The 1 pitch.
That's
one
good.
out.
That's good communication with the outfield.
Yeah, what did you see him do?
He put his hand up and he called off his left fielder, said, hey, I got it.
Because his left fielder was Gonzalez running in. Inocencio, the senior, making sure, like, hey. And that one's going to drop in for a single. 1 hop to Inocencio. One pitch result. So here's Julian Gonzalez, the center fielder wearing number 8. He struck out both times today.
Number 8, Julian Gonzalez.
He's squaring up to bunt. Reaches out at it, snap throw back down to first, and he's back safely. So this is the first batter that'll see more than 1 pitch here in the top half of the 6th inning.
So we will not have the immaculate inning. 3 pitches, 3 outs.
Showing bunt. Throw to first. This time, Elohim Ramirez is crashing in on third. That's a Moody staple, is if you see somebody bunting, you're crashing in, coming in hard. Takes it all the way. That's strike 2.
And the defense is ready for it. You can see.
That's a Moody staple. Come in. If there was nobody on first, the first base was crashing in. Snapped it deep into the shortstop. Hard, long throw. In time.
Joaquin Acosta showing off the arm over there. That short, long throw that he had to make. He's a little wide at first base, and
Marcelo wants to argue this one. His first base coach is like, hey, no, he was safe, so.
That was a great throw. Looked like he might have even bobbled the ball and still made it in play.
And Marcelo kind of walks around in the infield, making his way back to the third base box. Here's Nico Perez, who's flied out and has been hit by a pitch and been left on. 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Carroll leading 3-1.
the Trojans get the out, but the Tigers get a runner into scoring position.
Takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Barron pops up ready to fire back down. No one's covering the bag. Pitches away again, ball 2. Ramirez trying on the mound a little bit. Checks the runner at second. The 2-0 pitch. Fouled, strike 1. I don't think that was a dog running around here. I think there's a fan trying to make it sound like that. I've been at a game before where during the warm-ups for basketball, one of the girls was making like a siren sound. She kept doing it with club cup in her hands and trying to just. I think it was more annoying for us adults that were wandering around being able to sit there and listen to a part of that versus it was any of an intimidation factor. The 2-1, no, he's going to step off and get the runner back to second.
Did you get a chance to see Caitlin Clark live?
No, I did not. Wasn't anywhere near with her around. I did get to watch some of Kansas and Michigan play in the first round of the NCAA tournament. That was kind of neat. And then I got to see USC. And Juju Watkins, she's the real deal. She is a phenomenal basketball player. Outside, that's ball 4. So a 2-out walk. 2 on now for the Tigers. Runners on first and second. You're back to the top of the order with Isaac Bettis, who has walked, singled, and grounded out.
You know, here comes Coach Curiel. You know, he was hoping that Ramirez could get him out. You know, he was facing the 9-hole hitter, certainly hoping that he could get him out of this inning without having to go to someone else. But
that's it.
Looks like that might be it. His pitch count was at 87 coming into this inning, so you know, he's coming close to that 110, and it looks like Elohim Ramirez is going to come in from third base, so probably a straight swap right there with Aiden Ramirez going to play third. You know, I was going to ask you, Louis, while we have some time, you know, those plays out in center field where, you know, the center fielder could get there, but the left fielder could get there as well. As the center fielder, are you kind of like the field general out there? In other words, you kind of get first dibs on those, or how does that go out there?
Yeah, so the way we do it at King, the center fielder always has first priority of the ball, and that really is something we practice a lot.
Good answer.
And I want to say, in general, that's kind of how it goes, right? That's how it. The center fielder is. He's kind of the field general out there in the outfield, correct?
Yes, sir. And I really think it's a calming presence having me out there in center field. You know, I have Ruben Matthew in right field. He's only a junior, and most of the time it's Robbie Cáceres or Grant Hooglin out there, and they really rely on me to help talk to them and communicate with deep balls that are in the gap like that.
I like Cáceres. I like him. I like the way he plays the game. He was huge a couple of weeks ago when he had those 2 sac flies, those 5 RBIs, wound up being our player of the game. But that was really a really good game. Then he came in and got 3 strikeouts to end the inning or end the threat and help win that ball game. Who was that against? Was that against Moody?
It was against Moody.
He was against Moody? Yeah, that was huge play of him.
Yeah, that was a great job. But we really needed to dig deep that game. We were down. I want to say it was 5-2, I think. 5-2 maybe?
Something like that. It's not that I don't remember, just sometimes the amount of games, the amount of years, sometimes a lot of them kind of mix together, run together a little bit. Even in the week or the past 2 weeks, sometimes it's been a lot going on.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really picked up about Moody during our double dip series, I think y'all called it.
Yeah.
That's one thing I picked up about Moody is King won both of those games, but I think Moody was in both of them from the start.
Yes.
Back to the top of the lineup for your Carroll Tigers. Shortstop number 10.
King has been was a perennial playoff team year in and year out. And then playoffs last year, and then we're looking, and we were talking about a little bit earlier today, this is probably a matchup between Gregory Portland and King. Could be a matchup for the district championship, the way things are playing out. Could be. Or it could be fighting for another playoff spot, you know?
Yeah, it'd definitely be a big series between the Mustangs and the Eagles.
First pitch is high, ball 1 to Isaac Pettis.
And who do you guys have coming up next week?
Next week is our off week, but we do play Victoria East in the middle.
It's a good ball club, too, over there.
Pettis hits it right out to the right fielder. Espinosa makes the grab for out number 3 on an F9. It ends it. The Tigers get 2 on. They leave 2 stranded. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th inning with a 3-1 lead for Carroll.
Trying to get into college can be overwhelming, but the TRIO Educational Opportunity Center is here to guide you through it. TRIO helps students from Nueces, Refugio, and San Patricio counties with college applications, financial aid, college admission testing, GEDs, and so much more. We'll help you realize your dreams, reach your educational goals. And the best part? We do it for free. Together, we can help you get into any college of your choice. Call or click today to see if you qualify.
Hey guys, it's Devin over here, same Super Center. If you're looking for it, I got it. Like this whole line of beautiful trucks from Ford, Chevy to GMC. BMWs, Bronco Sports, Edges, we got it all. Even super cool Mustangs like this 5.0. Remember, you want to see this or anything else on my lot? Do yourself a favor, ask for Devin. Remember, shop saves and save.
back here at Cavanis Field. Doug Kesterson, Jake Vasquez, Luis Bettis. In between innings here at the bottom of the 6th inning. Due up for the Moody Trojans. It's number 2, Ernie Gonzalez, number 14, Ernie Gonzalez, number 15, Aiden Ramirez, and number 23, Elohim Ramirez. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters is what I was trying to say, due up. Tigers went scoreless in the top half of the 6th. They lead 3-1.
Moody certainly had some opportunities here in this ball game. It's just some really good, tough pitching by Caleb Jimenez and some good defense by the Carroll Tigers, and really kept them from doing any damage. One big run that they got, trying to get back into the ball game, and that was in the 4th inning. Lead-off triple by the young man who's about to step into the batter's box, Ernie Gonzalez. And then it was a ground out. He would come in to score the only run of the ball game for the Trojans thus far. Searching for some base runners.
Right now, who would be a leading candidate off this Tigers team if they're able to hang on and win as your player of the game nominee?
Moody Trojans, left fielder number 14, Ernesto Gonzalez.
Here's Ernie Gonzalez with a line out, triple, and scored a run. Takes the first pitch, strike 1. Anybody? You're thinking? I'm looking at Matthew Rodriguez, who's 2 for 3 with an RBI.
My first thought was the young man behind the plate, Dave Palomo. And the reason I was thinking Palomo is
he got it started.
He got it started, and he's stolen a couple of strikes for his pitcher here, there, as well. So
Gonzalez goes down looking for out number 1. Here's number 15, Aiden Ramirez, who has singled and grounded out. And then for the Moody Trojans will come back and pull this victory out. Smoke that foul.
But Matt Rodriguez, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. A couple of RBIs, too, so it's a good pick, too, Doug.
0-1 now to Aiden Ramirez. Palomo brings that back over for strike 2.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Palomo sets up outside. Reaches for it, ground ball to second, deep in the hole. Throw is not in time. That took too long for him to get that ball out of the glove, and he was deep, in shallow right field.
Yeah, it looked like he couldn't get the ball out of the glove there for a second. Kind of a double clutch right there, and resulted in an infield single for Aiden Ramirez.
Elohim is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out.
And I think if you're Moody, you'll take that right now any way you can.
Oh, absolutely. You need base runners. I only have 3 of them left on base so far in this ballgame. Is that what you have for Moody?
That's what I have as well.
First pitch is away, ball 1.
Jimenez has done a good job of keeping them off the bases for the most part.
That's popped up and backing out of play for strike 1. See, it sounds like it's going to come through.
That's very loud.
Yes.
Definitely does not sound that loud from center field.
So you can hear it out there when it lands on top of this.
You can, just not.
Not like it, the resonating boom.
Like
I think every single bit of metal on this roof vibrates when that hits on top. The 1-1 throw to first. There's the pitch high and inside for ball 2.
Like Jimenez might have lost his footing right there.
Well, the ground crew did come out and, you know, do a little work on the mound. They do it always in between games. They do it before the game. Oof, that was off Palomo's head. Gonna let him walk that off for a moment. It's strike 2.
That's another tough kid right there,
Yeah.
though, I'll tell you that.
So the ump's looking at him like, you okay? And then Palomo kind of smiled. And they gave a fist bump to each other like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good, ump.
Looks like he's ready to get back in there.
Yeah. They rolled a couple more baseballs in. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Carroll leading Moody 3-1. Watch today's game for free, MICSportsNetwork.com. Reaching for that right at the second baseman. Throw to first, not in time.
Wow, that was close, though.
And it's going to bring up Noah Garcia, who was grounded out and been hit by a pitch.
It's a heads-up play with these wins. You never know.
Next up to bat for your Moody Trojans, first baseman.
Well, you typically think a lot of those are going to carry over the second baseman to get a little bit of roll out there. That's why Ramirez was, you know, pretty much trying to get halfway between first and second. It was fortunate he got back. First pitch is low, ball 1. Hard to get that momentum when you're leaning one way to go back the other. Completely reverse what you're doing to head back the other way. Little contact. You heard that in your ears, didn't you? That plunk.
Yeah, I can hear it very clear.
I don't know that that same sound in our headsets here always translate on the recording. Fouled back. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, with 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Moody is the home team. They will have their last at bat in the bottom of the 7th. Depending on if they can score a couple of runs here in the 3rd and hold Carroll in the top half of the 7th. But Jimenez has done a nice job on the mound for the Tigers today.
Yeah, he has.
Jimenez checks the runner at first. Snap throw off the glove.
Might have squeezed his glove too early on that one.
Might have. I've never seen him really come off the glove like that or come out of it. Check swing, said he went around. That's strike 3, and that's going to retire the inning. Trojans get a man on. They leave him stranded. We're going to the top of the 7th. Carroll leading 3-1.
Meet some of our residents at Gulf Coast Humane Society. When you find your new family member, they'll be spayed or neutered, up to date on vaccinations, and microchipped. Your adoption fee also includes 6 months of heartworm prevention, a free vet visit, post-adoption support, and more. If you fall in love with one of our heartworm-positive dogs, we will also provide their treatment at no extra cost to you. Come find your new furry friend at Gulf Coast Humane Society, completing families since 1945.
Hi, I'm Bob Euchre. I was 5 years old when Lou Gehrig retired from baseball because of ALS. It's been 8 decades since Lou's speech, and we still don't have a cure for this devastating disease that affects thousands of Americans every year, including my daughter Leanne. But we are making progress, and we need your help to finally strike out ALS. Please join us by visiting ALS.org. Thank you.
On News Talk KEYS.
Back here at Cabinets Field, Kesterson, Jake Vasquez, Luis Perez sitting in the booth with us today, the King center fielder. You have 72 pitches. That's what I believe that's what they said in the booth next door. Or they
Crazy.
72, 76 pitches, something like that. He's done a nice job today. Even Luis given his opinion who possible player of the game might be for Carroll. He's even considering saying, you know, why not Caleb Jimenez? He's gone the distance. A low pitch, being able to keep the guys off the bases, only giving up 4 hits today. 1 run.
Scored a run, too.
Yes. And he's also due up, or he's leading things off this inning. Caleb Jimenez. followed by Dave Palomo, then number 3, Matthew Rodriguez. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for the Tigers. And if it's Moody, if Moody was able to come back and walk it off in the bottom of the 7th, think about somebody from the Moody Trojans here you would consider. First pitch, ground ball to first, 2 hops, unassisted. Garcia, 1 away. That brings up number 12, Dave Palomo.
Now, I mentioned earlier, Lucas Luna, real good first baseman for the Veterans Memorial Eagles. That young man right there, Noah Garcia, does a real good job over at first base for the Moody
He's done a
Trojans
nice
as
job
well.
today. He's done one of those jobs where you don't, makes everything look routine. Palomo makes contact, that's strike 1. And I guess you say it makes it so it looks so easy. He's not drawing any attention to himself. It's like an offensive lineman in football. You don't really pay much attention unless there's a humongous hole or they get a holding call, on them, Then you really pay attention to them. Well, okay, well, you made a mistake. Well, most of them, like, they won't ever notice. They just go out there and do their job. It seems like Noah Garcia defensively is going out there and just doing his job. The 0-2 to Palomo. Ball 1. This is game 3 of our triple header. And we're top half of the 7th inning with Carroll leading 3-1. Ramirez shakes off the first 2. Goes way outside for ball 2. He held on to that one just a tad long. You agree?
Yeah, I think so.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Dave Palomo. Ball 3. Palomo is ready. Looks like he's ready to pull the trigger on that one.
He's really worked the count. I believe it was 0-2. Now it's full count.
It is. Calls time. Here, I'm going to get something here a little. Get that closer to you right there. Goes outside, and that's ball 4. Palomo gets himself on base here in the top half of the 7th inning.
They have yet to figure out how to retire Dave Palomo. Another walk for the young man, and
on base 4 times.
Like you said, Louis, worked that from an 0-2 count to a walk.
I'm leaning that way with you too now. The more that I think about it, he's gotten on base 4 times today. Here's Matthew Rodriguez though with 2 singles and an RBI.
Couple of RBIs, I think.
I marked 1. You have to tell me if you had another one and I missed it. It's a 1-0 count now to Rodriguez.
I had him drive in a run in the 1st and in the 3rd.
Okay, so he has 2 RBI. Inside, that's ball 2. And Baron's going to go out and talk to Ramirez for a second, like, hey, dude. This is what I'm calling. This is what the call is. What I want you to do. So 2-0 the count. 1 away here in the top half of the 7th. Carroll leading Moody 3-1. Hit up in the air, hanging, dropping in front of Inocencio. Palomo is going to hold up at second base. Rodriguez is now 3 for 4 on the afternoon hitting with 2 RBI. That's a good day at the plate.
That's a real good day at the plate.
I always like to say when you're hitting the ball that many times in the same game, the ball looks like a beach ball to you coming in. Here's Eloy Rodriguez, who's flied out, struck out, and grounded out. First pitch is strike 1. Tigers can have 2 aboard with 1 out. Would love to get an insurance run. It's a little bit low. Ball one. 1-1.
It was a good stop by the catcher. It was a hard ball.
Ground ball is going to make its way into right field. Palomo rounding third. Here's the throw. Oh, he holds up. Everybody's going to go back to the bases. Rodriguez gets his first hit of the ball game here in the ninth. Base is loaded with one out. Brings up number 9, Josh Gonzalez, who has struck out, grounded out, and flied out today. This is an opportunity like your teammate Caceres 2 weeks ago was able to just drive a ball deep out in the outfield, get as far back as he can, even though it was an out, and bring in another run. It's what Carroll has in front of him now.
Any way to help the team?
Yes, it's all about the win. And it's popped up, but this may not be deep enough, but Inocencio has it, tagging. Here's Palomo. That's exactly what he wanted.
And that's an extra run for Carroll.
And it is. Gonzalez with an F8, but that is a sacrifice RBI. Here's number 11, Christian Hernandez.
Number 11, Christian Hernandez.
Grounded out, flied out, and singled. That pitch goes over his head. That's ball one. I have 1 run scoring. It's 4.
Yes, 4.
Scoreboard has 2 runs here in the top of the 7th.
Got a little crazy with the...
And it's a little oopsie. 1-0 count. And I believe that's head coach Curiel coming out. It might be all.
Yeah, maybe after that wild pitch. He's not liking what he's seen from Elohim Ramirez, perhaps. Yeah, it looks like we might have Noah Garcia.
Yeah, he is. Garcia's going to go change gloves.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a pitching change.
And to give us an opportunity to thank our sponsors before this ball game gets concluded. Thank you to G-Tech Communications, Stripes, and Laredo Taco Company, Del Mar College Trio Program, and Charlie Marshall Funeral Home. Thank you guys for your support all season long. We appreciate it very, very much. You guys have been absolutely fantastic and awesome. And Garcia's going to go through some warm-up pitches. Don't forget the Corpus Christi Car Show a week from today. The American Bank Center, noon to 5. If you have a custom car, truck, and/or motorcycle you think is all that, we'd love to see it. Get it entered in right now, 1440keys.com. Load-in day is Friday. Car show starts Saturday at noon. Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders will be in attendance. I had to work it last year. I mean, man, I'm telling you what, I had to take pictures the whole event while they were there. You know what, Jake? That was a hard, tough job. And I almost guarantee Louis would volunteer to help me do that job, wouldn't you?
I don't know about that one.
You don't know about taking pictures?
For how long?
I don't know. So it wound up being like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It wasn't that long,
Oh,
but they
that's
were
it?
there. Yeah.
Maybe.
But it's going to be Saturday at the American Bank Center, so come join us. We'll still be giving tickets away on all 3 of our stations, which is Hot Z95, Rock 92.7, and/or here on News Talk KEYS. And we've had van stops everywhere in town giving away tickets, and I do not remember the mission off the top of my head, but you can get a ticket at the gate, at the door. So we'd love to see you Saturday at the American Bank Center. Corpus Christi Car Show. 25 awarded categories. Lots of great different vehicles in there.
So it looks like Elohim Ramirez is going to stay in the ball game. He'll play first base, so he'll take over for Noah Garcia. Another straight switch. Garcia will take over with a 1-0 count on Christian Hernandez.
And Garcia wants to make sure he has everybody back on base. Runners at second and third for the Tigers. And the first pitch from Garcia is strike one. Timeout called. Top of the 7th inning, Carroll leading Moody 4-1. And a pitch from Garcia. It's 2 balls and 1 strike now. Yeah, that's a fan definitely barking.
Do they allow pets in here?
No. I don't think so. And the pitch is a little low and away, ball 3.
I suppose if it was a service pet, they would allow it in here, but most service pets don't make a peep.
You're absolutely right. They're very quiet.
Very well trained.
3 balls, 1 strike. Garcia from the stretch. Ball 4. Bases loaded for the Tigers. And that brings up Julian Gonzalez, who is struck out twice and grounded out. Actually, it's number 22 coming up. Sorry about that. That would be Tyler Vasquez. Vasquez coming in to pinch hit.
Carroll Tigers, number 22, Tyler Vasquez.
First pitch from Garcia to Vasquez is right down the heart of the plate, strike 1. Vasquez, a good-sized young man. Takes the next pitch a little bit low, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down for the Tigers here in the top half of the 7th inning, leading Moody 4-1. Moody won game number 1 of this series on Tuesday, 5-2. And it was the early game. A big hack from Vasquez. And he's down in the count 1-2. The Islanders Coaches Show is going to be Monday at 5 o'clock on News Talk KEYS. Stephen King will host it. I'll be a part of it as well. Foul that ball away. You get to hear from Jim Shaw, probably, Royce Chadwick after the NCAA tournament appearances. Well, the WBI, not the WBI, the NIT for the Islander men, the March Madness appearance for the Islander women. Softball's been in full effect. Scott Malone with Islander baseball. I'm sure we'll have even tennis. I think with and a swing and a miss, strike him out. Vasquez goes down to end the threat for the Tigers. They leave them loaded. They do get 2 hits in that inning, though. They lead 4-1. Bottom of the 7th coming up.
How do you say buenos dias in Texas? Well, first start with a warm flour tortilla made from scratch. Then load it with savory frijoles, fresh scrambled eggs, papas, and shredded cheese. Wait, everything is bigger in Texas. Let's add crispy bacon and homemade salsa. And let's not forget about the weekends y barbacoa. You can enjoy a little piece of home from Laredo Taco Company.
GTech 360 proudly celebrating 20 years in business. What a local internet provider can do for you? No data caps. 24/7 customer support. Expert installations. Locally owned and operated. We connect people and communities. Give us a call today at 361-777-1400 for your internet, VoIP, and security needs.
back here at Cabinets Field. Doug, Jake, Louie with you. Bottom of the 7th inning, the last hurrah coming up for the Moody Trojans. They have the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up. Noah Garcia, Robbie Inocencio, and Abram Barone. This game is just about done. We're approaching the 7 o'clock hour. First game got underway at 11 o'clock, but had King and GP. Second game, we had Vets and Laredo United. And the finale here this afternoon, Carroll and Moody. Jimenez. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Strike 1 from Jimenez. Jimenez had 72 pitches you had marked down coming into this bottom half of the inning. There's 2 now, 74. I think we may be leaning to Jimenez.
It might be, yeah.
Or Rodriguez.
We got a lot of good candidates. That's
yes, we
for
do.
Sure.
Woo, he smoked that sucker. But it's foul. Strike 2. Inocencio, man, that was a... He straightened that thing out. He's running. Jimenez goes away that time for ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Jimenez's pitch. Ground ball to third. Bobbled it. And he beat out. Didn't even have an attempt to throw. And that's an error committed by the Tigers on E5.
An error, but that ball was hit fast.
Yes, it was.
Hit ball.
That's when it was when he fouled that first one off. That was smoke. He definitely, could you see it? That one definitely for sure.
That one was just about almost identical, just in fair play.
It's like Aiden Ramirez, or Aiden Trevino rather, is going to pinch hit here.
For Barone. Our student athlete of the week, huh? There he is. Takes the first pitch. Low, ball 1. Jimenez's pitch. High chop off for strike 1. Once again, if you're just joining us now here on News Talk KUSR MIC Sports Network. Aiden Trevino, the student athlete of the week. The current one, 4.67 GPA. Wants to be a neurosurgeon heading to University of Texas. Swing and a miss to strike 2. He said after his residency, he does want to come back to the Coastal Bend.
Nice.
And be a surgeon here, so. He's got a long road ahead of him, but off to a good start. Hot shot over to second. They're going to flip it to the base. Try to get a double play. He did not get it. It's a 4-6 put out here, and a fielder's choice for Aiden Trevino. Joaquin Acosta stepping in with a fly out and a... Was that the bunt that he did, the one unassisted?
Yeah, sack bunt.
Next up to bat for Moody Trojans, shortstop number 6, Joaquin Acosta.
1 out. High and tight for ball 1. Trevino also has 33 dual credit hours.
Wow. That's impressive. That's a lot.
That is a lot. Hot shot to second. Pettis fields it. Flips over to second. They're not going to get the throw. Again. They do get the force out. Again. And that is a 6-4 put out this time.
I think he was just safe on that one.
I do too. I know the Carroll fans definitely wanted that to end earlier, but he beat that out. There's no doubt in my mind.
I think 3 for 3 up here on that decision.
Say it again?
3 for 3.
3 for 3, yeah.
Yeah, I think he just beat it out.
That's a hard hit ball. It's hanging. Does it stay fair? Wow, just foul.
Home run.
No, they said a home. Really?
Wow.
Wow.
That's a big moment for Moody right there.
Yeah, it is. It's now 4-3 with 2 outs. Marcelo's out arguing the call. Said, you got to be kidding me. I thought it hit. I mean, I didn't see it hit over there.
The thing is, it was, and he hit it far. It hit it far. So it was above the foul pole. I think when it crossed, I didn't see it cross.
It landed back in the field of play. It was down in the far corner. Unless it hit the pole, hit the corner. I saw it over the corner when I finally could track it. Ground ball, going to make its way into the glove and unable to get it over there. So landed Trevino. Able to get a hit. Now Moody trailing by 1. 2-out rally.
And that home run might have just been the momentum they needed.
And if that's the case, you go Nico Espinosa, huh?
Maybe you do.
Who was 0 for 2.
Maybe you do, but they've got to get that other run, or at least 1 run to extend this ball game, to even give Nico the opportunity.
What I'm saying, if they do,
right here.
If they're able to come back and walk it off, that was a spark they needed. And if that's it, that's, you know.
You definitely got to consider that for sure. For sure.
And for Carroll, I think they really want to think about this next at-bat with Gonzalez up.
Gonzalez with a triple in his second at-bat of this ball game.
Next up to bat for Moody Trojans, left fielder number 14, Ernesto Gonzalez.
That's popped up in the air. A long run. Dropped it. Foul territory. They had the out.
Those kind of things right there, it's when you start to wonder if the momentum has shifted just a little bit.
And that's a tough play to make from behind.
Yeah, it is.
Shoulder.
And you've played a good game in this ball game. I mean, it's not been one of those things that you're going to squeak by. You've played to win this ball game.
For sure. You know, they say the last out is the hardest out to get right here.
Jimenez goes away. That's ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, 4-3 ball game.
The crowd really into it now.
Swing and a miss. That's strike 2. They've been kind of quiet lately. You're right, Louis. They're making a little bit more noise.
Both sides right here. Carroll fans trying to will this last out. Trojan fans looking for 1 more run.
Struck him out. They stopped the rally after 2 runs here and a 2-run home run from Nico Espinosa. The Tigers pick up their 2nd district win over the over the Moody Trojans here, the final. So thank you guys so much for watching along on MICSportsNetwork.com. The final, once again, Carroll wins Game 2 this week, 4-3. It's our end of our triple header. Thank you for being a part of the broadcast. Thank you, our sponsors, G-Tech Communications, Stripes Laredo Taco Company, Del Mar College Trio Program, and Charlie Marshall Funeral Home. Till next week, so long from Cabinets Field.